You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Section 3 of The Sonnets of Michelangelo Buonarroti and Tommaso Campanella, translated by John Addington Symonds. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Section 3. Michelangelo, Sonnets 31 to 45. 31. To Tommaso de' Cavalieri. Love's Lordship. A che più debio. Why should I seek to ease intense desire with still more tears and windy words of grief? When heaven, or late or soon, sends no relief to souls whom love hath robed around with fire, why need my aching heart to death aspire, when all must die? Nay, death beyond belief unto these eyes would be both sweet and brief, since in my sum of woes all joys expire. Therefore, because I cannot shun the blow I rather seek, say who must roll my breast, gliding between her gladness and her woe? If only chains and bands can make me blest, no marvel if alone and bare I go, an armed knight's captive and slave confessed. 32. Love's Expostulation. Sunt casto amor. If love be chaste, if virtue conquer ill, if fortune bind both lovers in one bond, if either at the other's grief despond, if both be governed by one life, one will, if in two bodies one soul triumph still, raising the twain from earth to heaven beyond, if love with one blow and one golden wand have power both smitten breasts to pierce and thrill, if each the other love, himself foregoing, with such delight, such savour, and so well, that both to one sole end their wills combine. If thousands of these thoughts, all thought outgoing, fail the least part of their firm love to tell, say, can mere angry spite this knot untwine? 33. First Reading. A Prayer to Nature. Amor redivivus. Perché tuo gran bellezze. That thy great beauty on our earth may be shrined in a lady softer and more kind, I call on nature to collect and bind all those delights the slow years steal from thee, and save them to restore the radiancy of thy bright face in some fair form designed by heaven. And may love ever bear in mind to mould her heart of grace and courtesy. I call on nature too to keep my sighs, my scattered tears to take and recombine, and give to him who loves that fair again. More happy he perchance shall move those eyes to mercy by the griefs wherewith I pine, nor lose the kindness that from me is ta'en. 33. Second Reading. A Prayer to Nature. Amor redivivus. Sol perché tue bellezze. If only that thy beauties here may be deathless through time that rends the wreaths he twined, I trust that nature will collect and bind all those delights the slow years steal from thee, and keep them for a birth more happily, born under better auspices, refined into a heavenly form of nobler mind, endowered with all thine angel purity. Ah me! And may heaven also keep my sighs, my scattered tears preserve and reunite, and give to him who loves that fair again. More happy he perchance shall move those eyes to mercy by the griefs my manhood blight, nor lose the kindness that from me is ta'en. 34. Love's Furnace. Si amico Alfredo Sasso. So friendly is the fire to flinty stone, that, struck therefrom and kindled to a blaze, it burns the stone, and from the ash doth raise what lives thenceforward, binding stones in one. Kiln hardened, this resists both frost and sun, acquiring higher worth for endless days, as the purged soul from hell returns with praise amid the heavenly host to take her throne. E'en so the fire struck from my soul that lay close hidden in my heart may temper me, till burned and slaked to better life I rise. If, made mere smoke and dust, I live today, fire-hardened I shall live eternally. Such gold, not iron, my spirit strikes and tries. 35. Love's Paradoxes. Sento d'un foco. Far off with fire I feel a cold face lit, that makes me burn the while itself doth freeze. Two fragile arms enchain me, which with ease, unmoved themselves, can move weights infinite. A soul none knows but I, most exquisite, that, deathless, deals me death, my spirit sees. I meet with one who, free, my heart doth seize, and who alone can cheer, hath tortured it. How can it be that from one face like thine my own should feel effects so contrary, since ill comes not from things devoid of ill? That loveliness perchance doth make me pine, even as the sun, whose fiery beams we see, inflames the world, while he is temperate still. 36. Love misinterpreted. C'est l'immortal désir. If the undying thirst that purifies our mortal thoughts could draw mine to the day, perchance the Lord who now holds cruel sway in love's high house would prove more kindly wise. But since the laws of heaven immortalize our souls and doom our flesh to swift decay, tongue cannot tell how fair, how pure as day, is the soul's thirst that far beyond it lies. How then, ah, woe is me, shall that chaste fire which burns the heart within me be made known, if sense finds only sense in what it sees? All my fair hours are turned to miseries with my loved Lord, who minds but lies alone. For, truth to tell, who trusts not is a liar. 37. Perhaps to Vittoria Colonna. Love's servitude. S'alcun legato è pur. He who is bound by some great benefit, as to be raised from death to life again, how shall he recompense that gift, or gain freedom from servitude so infinite? Yet, if 'twere possible to pay the debt, he'd lose that kindness which we entertain for those who serve us well, since it is plain that kindness needs some boon to quicken it. Wherefore, O lady, to maintain thy grace, so far above my fortune, what I bring, is rather thanklessness than courtesy. For, if both met as equals face to face, she whom I love could not be called my king. There is no lordship in equality. 38. Love's vain expense. Rendete agli occhi miei. Give back unto mine eyes, ye fount and rill, those streams not yours that are so full and strong, that swell your springs and roll your waves along with force unwonted in your native hill. And thou, dense air, weighed with my sighs so chill that hidest heaven's own light thick mists among. Give back those sighs to my sad heart, nor wrong my visual ray with thy dark face of ill. Let earth give back the footprints that I wore, that the bare grass I spoiled may sprout again, and echo, now grown deaf, my cries return. Loved eyes, unto mine eyes those looks restore, and let me woo another not in vain, since how to please thee I shall never learn. 39. Love's argument with reason. La ragion meco si lamenta. Reason laments and grieves full sore with me, the while I hope by loving to be blessed with precepts sound and true philosophy. My shame she quickens thus within my breast. What else but death will that sun deal to thee, nor like the phoenix in her flaming nest? Yet naught avails this wise morality, no hand can save a suicide confessed. I know my doom, the truth I apprehend, but on the other side my traitorous heart slays me whene'er to wisdom's words I bend. Between two deaths my lady stands apart. This death I dread, that none can comprehend. In this suspense body and soul must part. 40. First reading. Love's lodestone. Non so se la desiata luce. I know not if it be the longed-for light of her first maker which the spirit feels, or if a time-old memory reveals some other beauty for the heart's delight. Or fame or dreams beget that vision bright, sweet to thine eyes, which through the bosom steals, leaving I know not what wounds, and heals, and now perchance hath made me weep outright. Be this what this may be, 'tis this I seek. Nor guide have I, nor know I where to find that burning fire, yet some one seems to lead. This, since I saw thee, lady, makes me weak. A bitter sweet sways here and there my mind, and sure I am thine eyes this mischief breed. 40. Second reading. Love's lodestone. Non so se se l'immaginata luce. I know not if it be the fancied light which every man or more or less doth feel, or if the mind and memory reveal some other beauty for the heart's delight, or if within the soul the vision bright of her celestial home once more doth steal, drawing our better thoughts with pure appeal to the true good above all mortal sight. This light I long for, and unguided seek. This fire that burns my heart I cannot find, nor know the way, though some one seems to lead. This, since I saw thee, lady, makes me weak. A bitter sweet sways here and there my mind, and sure I am thine eyes this mischief breed. 41. Light and darkness. Colui che fece. He who ordained when first the world began, time, that was not before creation's hour, divided it, and gave the sun's high power to rule the one, the moon the other span. Thence fate and changeful chance and fortune's ban did in one moment down on mortals shower. To me they portioned darkness for a dower. Dark hath my lot been, since I was a man. Myself am ever mine own counterfeit. And as deep night grows still more dim and dun, so still of more misdoing must I rue. Meanwhile this solace to my soul is sweet, that my black night doth make more clear the sun, which at your birth was given to wait on you. 42. Sacred Night. Ogni van chiuso. All hollow vaults and dungeons sealed from sight, all caverns circumscribed with roof and wall, defend dark night, though noon around her fall, from the fierce play of solar daybeams bright. But if she be assailed by fire or light, her powers divine are not, they tremble all, before things far more vile and trivial. Even a glow-worm can confound their might. The earth that lies bare to the sun and breeds 1,000 germs that burgeon and decay, this earth is wounded by the ploughman's share. But only darkness serves for human seeds. Night therefore is more sacred far than day, since man excels all fruits, however fair. 48. The impeachment of night. Perché Febo non torce. What time bright Phoebus doth not stretch and bend his shining arms around this terrene sphere, the people call that season dark and drear night, for the cause they do not comprehend. So weak is night, that if our hand extend a glimmering torch, her shadows disappear, leaving her dead, like frailest gossamer. Tinder and steel her mantle rive and rend. Nay, if this night be anything at all, sure she is daughter of the sun and earth. This holds, the other spreads that shadowy pall. Howbeit they err who praise this gloomy birth, so frail and desolate, and void of mirth, that one poor firefly can her might appall. 44. The defence of night. O not o dolce tempo. O night, O sweet though sombre span of time! All things find rest upon their journey's end. Whoso hath praised thee well doth apprehend, and whoso honours thee hath wisdom's prime. Our cares thou canst to quietude sublime, for dews and darkness are of peace the friend. Often by thee, in dreams upborne, I wend from earth to heaven, where yet I hope to climb. Thou shade of death, through whom the soul at length shuns pain and sadness hostile to the heart, whom mourners find their last and sure relief. Thou dost restore our suffering flesh to strength, driest our tears, assuagest every smart, purging the spirits of the pure from grief. 45. Love feeds the flame of age. Quando servo il Signor. When masters bind a slave with cruel chain, and keep him hope forlorn in bondage pent, use tames his temper to imprisonment, and hardly would he fain be free again. Use curbs the snake and tiger, and doth train fierce woodland lions to bear chastisement, and the young artist, all with toil forspent, by constant use a giant's strength doth gain. But with the force of flame it is not so, for while fire sucks the sap of the green wood, it warms a frore old man and makes him grow, with such fine heat of youth and lustihood, filling his heart and teaching it to glow, that love enfolds him with beatitude. If then, in playful mood, He sport and jest, old age need no man blame, for loving things divine implies no shame. The soul that knows her aim sins not by loving God's own counterfeit. Due measure kept, and bounds in order meet. End of Section 3.